All right, everyone, so I'm going to show you how to make my charts. First, you do layout, landscape, margins, all 0.25 custom all around. Then insert, table, and I normally do a 5 by 2, and that is what these charts are on the right hand side that I'm creating for you. And they start entering your information. So I just kind of made up some categories that I normally use in my charts. So etiologies, clinical presentation, workups and diagnostics, and then management and treatment of the disease. So this first column that I make is normally just for the name of the disease. So I'm going to call this Brie disease. And etiologies, I like to use the symbol for bullet points. So if you go to insert symbols, advanced symbol, and then use this little circle right there. And then I am making up my etiologies. I'm going to say this is the most common cause of Brie disease, this autoimmune. And then I like to copy that bullet point by using Command C on my keyboard, and then use Command V to paste it. We'll say another cause is idiopathic. Clinical presentation, we'll say jaundice, and let's say pruritus. Of course, though, it doesn't like that spelling, so let's see what it says. Okay, we'll just change it for the sake of the computer. And then moving on to workup and diagnostics, this is normally where I insert lab values or imaging findings or blood findings. So we'll say that CBC is going to show an elevated white blood count and then an elevated glucose, we'll say. Then we'll say on imaging, we'll have an x-ray that shows a widened mediastinum. None of this makes sense. I'm just trying to insert stuff for your guys' case on how I make these charts. And we'll say, I do like to make the diagnostic bold and then do the heading of what it is underlined, which is Command U and Command B on your keyboard. And then for management and treatment, we'll say there's no treatment. And then I like to color coordinate things on my chart. So jaundice, since it makes you yellow, I like to normally make that yellow. So when I look at it, I'm like, oh, that's jaundice for that disease. And then autoimmune, since it's the most common, I'm going to make that red so it stands out. And then treatments and management, I normally make all in blue, especially drug names. And then to make the color, you click on this fill, and I'm going to make it, oops, I actually made this one orange, so I'm going to change that really quick. So do the fill in, click that orange, and then do more colors. And I like to make mine a little bit lighter for my background. I just like the way that prints out. And then I make the categories bold and make those a darker color so I can see the difference between the information and the categories. And then now I'm going to make this blue chart. So once again, it's a 5 by 2. But as you can see, this is normally one that takes up a whole page for me, and I use multiple rows for the categories. So we'll put etiologies, differential diagnosis, pathophysiology, clinical presentation. And then if you click on the outside of the chart and click enter, it'll allow you to make a new row. And then we'll do workup diagnostics. And then we'll add a management and treatment, monitoring, and prognosis. We'll call this Brie disease again, and I'll just copy and paste all the old stuff in to make it quicker. But if you click that bar and you click the bottom bar right there, bottom border, it erases that bottom border so it all looks like one big column. Makes it blend together a little bit nicer. Then we're going to copy and paste this in. We'll make up some differential diagnosis, Ehrlich disease and Leslie disease. So the pathophysiology is an annoying sister entering a cell, because those are my sisters' names. And we'll just use the same clinical presentation. Same workup and diagnostics. Same management and treatment. Monitoring, we'll say that you have to check your glucose every 6 months. And prognosis, we'll say, is 5 years. So that's not a very good prognosis for me. Then to make this color, it is blue, so I'm going to click that blue color, click more colors, and drag it to make it a lighter blue to my liking. And then we'll make those categories bold again and make them a darker color. And then now we'll make this green chart, which sometimes I use if I have an extensive list of a clinical presentation or diagnostics or treatment, and I need more room than just one column. So I'll show you guys how I make this chart. Oops, I got caught up in copying the chart above. Sorry, let me fix that really quick after I do this. Delete that. And for example, it's if you have one column you might have as labs, or the next column might have imaging, or you might actually have pictures you want to put in your chart that might take up some more room. But you take away the border in between by doing that same bar. I'll show you again. And clicking the right border. So now it looks like one big area and then creates a better flow and a better visual. And now I'm making the color green. Make this bold again. So I know this was kind of a quick tutorial, so if you have any questions, please feel free to message me on my Instagram at lifewithme_PA or leave a comment on this YouTube video. I will be happy to answer your questions. Good luck, everyone.